Hello and welcome to a Yin Yoga class. So, Yin is where we hold poses for a long time, in this case today, between 4 and 5 minutes. It's a really good one for helping with our nervous system. It's really kind of quite restorative. We should never be any pain, it should never be a struggle. We'll work with quite a lot of quiet, and the only thing you need is a yoga mat if you've got one, some really comfy, cozy layers to keep yourself warm, and maybe some pillows or cushions in case you need them to help have some extra support. You'll notice there's no timer, and that's because I don't want you to pay attention to the time. I've got that for you. Just going to start by you can either sit down, but I would personally recommend lying down on your back. So lying down. Excuse the slippers, by the way. I did say get cozy. Lying or sitting down, and you can be lying on your back, on your side, on your belly, feet on the floor, legs extended. There's no kind of one position suits all. Just make sure you feel very comfortable. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Every time you breathe in, just pay attention to a certain body part. And as you breathe out, see if you can relax or soften it a little bit. And keep repeating that, continuing all the way down or up your body, depending where you started. Eyes might be closed or soft eye gaze if they're open. Anytime we move into a pose, we're aiming to find the points where there's not too much of a pulling sensation. We're definitely not in pain, but we do just feel a bit of a stretch. So every time you find a pose, the first thing is to find that sweet spot where you feel that bit of stretch without any pain or discomfort. And then just start breathing, scanning the body from head to toe, just seeing where you can relax and let go. You might already even notice some little micro changes in your body, having just stop for a couple of minutes to be still and just breathe. Next time you breathe in, so if you are sitting down, make your way down to the ground. Lie on your back and stretch your legs out long and stretch your arms overhead. And then as you breathe out, walk your feet over towards the left side of your mat, keeping your hips down. Your hands over towards the left side of your mat, keeping your hips down for banana pose. So you're aiming to create that C shape down the body. We're stretching out through the right side. So if it's ever too much of a pull, you just make it less of a kind of extreme curve. It's more closer to a straight line. If you ever want more, you can walk your feet further. You can also cross your right ankle over the left. But wherever you are, we aim to just hold a pose very passively. So we're not actively contracting any muscles here. In fact, we're trying to relax as many muscles as possible. We're not pulling anything to try and get further. We just find the point, hold, breathe, and stay. And next time you breathe in, start to move again to your back in a straight line. Feet and hands and shoulders come to the middle. Notice any changes, any sensations, warmth in the body, maybe coldness, maybe just feeling the spine restack. And now hug your knees in towards your body. Give your knees a gentle squeeze. And then lay your arms out wide on the floor and drop your knees to the left side. Twisted roots. Now you can just stay exactly as you landed if you happen to have landed in the place that feels really good, that sweet spot. However, if it's too much and you need a bit less, just bring your knees further away from your arms. You might also like to maybe move your hips back a little bit, or your knees higher up. Now this is a really nice one sometimes where you might want to use your cushions or pillows. If your knees don't land on the floor, they're just hanging around in space, then maybe find support by putting some cushions or pillows underneath your left leg. Another nice option can be putting a pillow or cushion in between your two legs. That could be sometimes a little bit more comfortable around the hips and pelvis. And then once you've found that point, again, and you're in a position that feels good, we try and settle, we try and find stillness. We slow down our breath. The breathing, we're aiming to feel more calm and relaxed, so the breath should reflect that. It's a quiet breath. It's long, it's steady. Taking your time to exhale. And then scanning your body from the head to the toes. To see where you can relax or find more stillness. You can stay here if this suits. You might like to play with extending your right leg. And if you like, you can try a pose called cat pulling its tail. So you'll slide your left knee back, and then maybe you can grab hold of the foot with your hand. And that's going to give you, as well as this twist, you'll feel a stretch on your left thigh and left hip. And you're more than welcome to try and then change your mind. So you might come into a pose and then think, no, that's not right for you. So you can release and move back to where you were. And there's nothing to say that once you've gone to a position, you have to commit to it. The only thing is, I want you all to feel good, feel like it's beneficial, feel like you're able to let go. Trying to limit fidgeting. And the next time you breathe in, start to unravel, come back to the middle. And now it's entirely up to you. If you want to just stay and hold, maybe stretch your legs out long with Shavasana. Or maybe hug your knees in towards your body. Just using a moment to pause, observe how it feels coming out of the pose. And then we're going to repeat that all on the other side. So breathe in, stretch your arms and legs out long. And then walk your feet over towards the right. Your hands over towards the right. Creating the C shape that meets the limitations of your body, the ability of your body. Maybe crossing the left ankle over the right. So you might know the expression when people talk about someone being a dead weight. For example, when you're asleep or if you're unconscious or if you were to faint, you suddenly feel so much heavier because your muscles are no longer contracting to support you. And that's the aim of getting as close to that feeling as we can here in Yin. To really try and just allow the floor to support our weight rather than using our muscles to support ourselves up. Breathing and getting ourselves as close to our relaxation, restoration, and digestion within our nervous systems. And then the next time you breathe in, just slowly move back towards the center. Again, same options. You can just lie extended, you can bring your hands by your side, or you can hug your knees in towards your body. And the next breath in, we hug our knees in. Lay your arms out on the floor into a T and then drop your knees over to the right side. Before you just settle in the first position you land, feel free to take a moment to move, adjust. Get yourself into that sweet spot. Maybe bolster yourself a little bit with cushions or pillows under the knees, between the knees. And then once you've found it, returning your attention to your calm breathing. Your soft inhalations and exhalations. Really trying to soften or relax or let go somewhere on each out breath. Getting ourselves closer to becoming like a dead weight. And if you'd like to stay as you are, you can. If you felt it relax and you want a little bit more without forcing it, you can just maybe adjust your knees. Or if you'd like to play with extending your left leg, and or maybe coming to a cat pulling its tail, taking the left leg back, and maybe holding onto the foot with your hand. Everything is an option, not an obligation. And because our bodies are so asymmetrical and we tend to have a dominant side and less dominant side, that's why we must really focus on the feeling in the body rather than the shape that the body is creating. then the next time you breathe in, slowly unravel, come back up through the middle. Exact same options to pause, to come to Shavasana, to hug your knees in. Our next pose will be in a kneeling position. If you have painful knees and you struggle having pressure onto the knees, or being in a bent leg position or knees on the ground, you're going to stay lying on your back and hugging the knees in and just taking the knees out wide to the side. It's a very similar pose, just on our backs. If, however, you're able to move on, then just roll your knees over to the left-hand side and pause for a moment in the fetal position. Excuse me. And then push your way up. Oh dear. Voice gone funny. Open your knees wide. Oh God, feet together. And push your hips back into a child's pose. Stretching your arms forward. Can have a sip while you settle in. Better? Oh, much better. So knees just as far apart as you like. Head can relax down on the floor, forehead down, or you can roll to your side so you've got one ear down. I'll tell you when you're halfway so that you can switch sides. Now this is a really nice one to focus on relaxing your stomach muscles. Society tends to mean that we often suck in or hold in or contract our belly to try and give ourselves that flatter abs. But it's good to be able to relax and really think of allowing the belly to relax and let go. You can stay in your wide leg child's pose, or you have the option to come to melting heart. That's where you'll just shift your hips forward and close your knees so they're under the hips. And then come find support on your forearms, allowing your back to arch. Maybe you're able to stretch out further to come down to rest onto the forehead, the side of your face, or maybe even the chin. This becomes quite a strong back extension. So if this is uncomfortable, you know what to do. Shift yourself back into wide leg child's pose. We should never be experiencing any pain or discomfort. And if your head is facing the one direction, then just take your time and gradually pick it up and place it down the other way. And then if you're on all fours, into a closed leg child's pose. It's knees together, arms by your side. If you're on your back, you can hug your knees in. You can drop your feet to the floor. And I've finished our final resting posture, Shavasana. You are more than welcome to, if it's more comfortable, just kind of lie on your stomach if that transition is easier. Maybe making a bed for your hands, a bed with your hands for your head. Or you might like to roll over onto your sides, or maybe roll onto your back for Shavasana. Just traditionally, legs long, feet apart, arms on the floor by your side, palms turned up. Remembering the main focus here is relaxation and letting go. Make sure you've moved to be in a position that is most comfortable and most relaxing for you. Just a final few minutes of stillness and quiet. You can stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. Whenever you're ready to move, try and do it gradually so we're not kind of flicking the switch into higher energy, going from yin to yang, but just really gradually bringing ourselves there. So if you are lying on your stomach, maybe move yourself into a child's pose and pause for a moment. If you're lying on your back, maybe roll over onto the left side to pause in the fetal position. And when you feel ready to sit back up, breathe in a little bit deeper and start to make your way back up to sitting. That can be sitting any way you like. It doesn't have to be cross-legged. Keep your legs out in front, feet on the floor. And before you move, eyes closed or soft eye gaze. If it naturally started to open, and just take a final breath. Breathing in. And then breathing out as slowly and quietly as you can. And whenever you feel ready to move, just start to breathe in a little bit deeper. To blink your eyes open. And then praise yourself. Really well done. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. If you do have any questions, any feedback, if you'd like any help, just leave me a message in the comments. If not, thank you. My name's Helen, and hopefully see you for another one soon.